Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Jackowitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is my review for Iron Man 2. The next in my very long series of MCU and DCEU movies that I'm doing reviews for. So Iron Man was wildly popular. Great success. And so Marvel Studios actually pushed this probably sooner than they should have. They had Jon Favreau finish this movie in 2 years instead of 3. Maybe they should have given it the whole 3 years. So Jon Favreau does direct this again, and it has, of course, all your returning favorites. Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark, Iron Man. Gwyneth Paltrow is Pepper Potts. You have Don Cheadle taking over the role of James Rhodes, or War Machine. And I don't know what was the deal, but apparently Terrence Howard was very upset about that. And I think he actually tried to sue Marvel Studios because apparently he was supposed to originally reprise his role as Rhodes. Obviously, that didn't happen. You have Paul Bettany coming back as Jarvis. Jon Favreau plays Happy again. You have Clark Gregg coming back as Agent Coulson. Samuel L. Jackson has a bit bigger role here as Nick Fury. You kind of get introduced to a lot of different characters in here. And that was one of the things that I think a lot of people had a problem with this movie, is that it felt just a bit convoluted. They hadn't worked out how to do multiple characters quite as good as they do now. And you have Sam Rockwell coming in as Justin Hammer, Mickey Rourke coming in as Ivan Vanko. Really, Samuel L. Jackson has his first actual role in a Marvel movie because he's only made a cameo so far. You have Scarlett Johansson coming in, introducing Natasha Romanoff for Black Widow. Gary Shandling coming in as Senator Stern. So you have a lot of people you have to kind of balance out here. So the story goes that now Iron Man has made himself public. Everybody wants a piece of Iron Man. The government wants the tech for themselves. Of course they do. And you find out that an old Stark family enemy has found out, that Howard Stark, had a son Tony and is using some of the technology that he kind of shared with Vanko's father. And so Ivan Vanko's father dies and is left the schematics to make his own Iron Man suit. So he does that. And that kind of has a nice face-off between Vanko and Tony Stark. Actually, a couple of really good fights. One, unfortunately, was pretty short. So, while you have that going on, you also have the palladium, which is the material in this unit that's keeping the metal out of Tony's heart, is kind of poisoning him too. And so, one of the lines there is, the thing that's saving your life is also killing you. And so Tony Stark thinks he's going to die, and he's making a lot of what people are seeing as very reckless decisions. He makes Pepper Potts the CEO of Stark Industries. He's giving away a lot of his artwork to like the Boys Club and things like that. And he's kind of facing his own mortality. And even though he is this kind of egotistical guy, once you're facing your mortality, you do strange things. And there are points where he actually, like there's his birthday party, which he was considering was going to be his last birthday party. And he's just completely drunk and out of order. And this was the first time that Don Cheadle strapped up in the War Machine suit and those two had a face-off. And that was actually a really cool fight. I actually really liked that fight. A lot of people, I've seen reviews for this movie, and a lot of people are saying that Sam Rockwell was the villain in this movie. It wasn't Vanko, and I disagree wholeheartedly. The Justin Hammer character was goofy. He was inept. He really didn't have anything that made you afraid of him. He just seemed like he was incapable in doing just about anything. He was a really goofball kind of character too. Now Sam Rockwell did a really good job with him, but the Hammer character was being manipulated by Vanko. Vanko was the brains behind everything. And so Justin Hammer is supposed to be like the evil version of Tony Stark. You know, he's a weapons dealer, except he doesn't care. He's, you know, all about the war profiteering. He wants to make his own super soldier suit and has failed miserably. And so in comes Vanko. He hires Vanko after a big fight between Tony Stark and Vanko that was very public. And so they faked Vanko's death and made him make these super soldier suits. Well, Vanko didn't exactly follow suit, and instead he made androids that he could control himself. And that leads to a very big finale where you have all these droids that Vanko has made, and there's many of them, and he's also got control over War Machine's suit. And so there's a really epic fight toward the end. Like, there was a pretty good section of the latter part of the movie that was this fight with the droids. And I thought it was very, very well done. Absolutely amazing looking. And that leads to the final confrontation with Vanko, Tony Stark, and Rhodey, which actually didn't last that long at all. Like, the last fight between those three went rather quickly. Most of the fight was with the droids. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it did feel a little bit more convoluted. I don't think it was quite as good as the first movie. It was a very good movie, and it definitely had some entertaining moments. And again, I think some of the chemistry between Gwyneth Paltrow and Robert Downey Jr. in the movie was some of the best parts, to be very honest. Really liked some of the quips they had. Scarlett Johansson, she comes in, and honestly, for most of the movie, she's eye candy until like that very last big battle where she's kind of revealed as Black Widow and just tears apart a bunch of guards trying to get to Vanko. She goes to the computers and gets control back of Rhodey, so that way Rhodey can help out Iron Man in the big last fight. And like, everybody did fine with their performances, but I just felt like it wasn't quite as fleshed out as the original Iron Man was. You know, you've got Tony Stark, who is this, again, very egotistical guy, very sure of himself and everything he does, now caught in this position where he realizes that his life's work has been a lie, and he wants to fix it. And this is a very humbling experience for him. And it's, you know, they talked about it being like the Phoenix Rising metaphor, and it really was. And so I felt like they did a great job of crafting characters in the first movie. I don't think they did that with Iron Man 2. I felt like they were just introducing a lot of characters and a lot of scenarios that were going on. There were a lot of subplots there, like, you know, Tony's blood poisoning, him, you know, thinking he's dying and doing all this stuff. You have, you know, kind of the introduction of Black Widow there, but you're also introducing, again, Sam Rockwell's character, Mickey Rourke's character. And so I just feel like they were doing a bit much, and they hadn't really refined how to do multi-character movies yet. And that's kind of where I was with it. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun, no doubt about it. Had a blast. But yeah, not quite as good as the original, or even, in my opinion, as good as The Incredible Hulk, which was one of the most maligned movies in the Marvel series. I actually feel like The Incredible Hulk was better in some ways. So, I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10, which is still very, very strong. It was definitely a good movie. I really enjoyed myself, but it did have its weak points. And I think another like plus and minus for the movie was some of the verbiage that they used. Like, some of the writing was really, really good. Some of it was kind of hammy. So that was my big takeaway. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my review for Iron Man 2. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz, Kaged Nation. Out.